I'm Josh McGarry, and I've been told that I can be hard to understand sometimes. But with some help from technology, maybe we can fix that. This is Frameworks.
All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something that happens inside all of our heads, a process that pretty much shapes our entire reality. I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're just talking, everything seems totally fine, and then, bam, all of a sudden you're defensive, or you're angry, or you just feel completely overwhelmed. You end up saying things you don't mean, or maybe you just shut down entirely. It literally feels like someone else grabbed the wheel. But what if I told you that hijacking, it's not random at all? My research actually shows it's a super predictable pattern, almost like a program running in the background of your mind. It's a downward spiral that starts with the stories we tell ourselves, and just understanding that pattern, well, that's the first step to taking back control. So let's put a name to this hijacker. In my work, I call it the Reactive Speech Model, and we are going to take it apart piece by piece. Okay, so the Reactive Speech Model, or RSM for short, is that pattern of just impulsive emotional response. You can think of it as your brain's emergency default setting. It's that classic moment you snap, "I'm fine," when you are clearly not fine. It's that part of you that vents, that jumps to conclusions, that sends that passive-aggressive text. It's speech that's driven purely by reaction, not by any real clear intention.
And here's what's so critical to get. RSM isn't just you being bad at conversations. My findings consistently show it's a learned survival mechanism. A lot of the time, it's hardwired into us by past experiences, by actual trauma. It's like a protective shield that just kind of stuck around long after the battle was over.
This chart here really maps out how these patterns get built. So for example, if you grew up around a lot of verbal abuse, you might learn to get hostile first, kind of like a preemptive strike. If it was emotional abuse, you can become hypervigilant, always scanning for threats, so you overreact to the tiniest little cue. And if you experience neglect, you might learn to state your needs really urgently, almost impulsively, because you're terrified of being ignored again. See, these aren't character flaws, they're strategies we learn to survive. So here's how that downward spiral actually works, broken down into 3 steps. Step 1, overload. Your brain just gets flooded with stress, or a memory, or some big emotion. Step 2, reaction. You instantly cook up a story to make sense of that feeling, like, "They're totally attacking me," or "See, I knew I wasn't good enough." And then step 3, inversion. Now this is the most dangerous part. That reactive story gets stuck on repeat, in a closed loop in your head, until it starts to feel more real than what's actually happening. It literally flips your reality upside down. You know, this isn't some new age idea. Ancient wisdom has been warning us about this for thousands of years. RSM is basically giving full vent to your spirit. It's the textbook definition of foolishness, an uncontrolled fire. So, if that's the problem, what's the solution? So, what is the antidote? How do you break the cycle? It's not about just trying harder. It's about using a totally different system. And that system, in my research, is what I call the prompt-based methodology. Prompt-based methodology, or PBM, is the polar opposite of RSM. It's a structured, intentional, purposeful way of communicating. Think of it as a reasoned defense and apologetic against the chaos we all feel in conversations these days. The goal isn't just to win an argument. It's a tool designed to literally retrain your brain to choose clarity over chaos. This chart just lays it out so clearly. You've got 2 different operating systems for your mind. On one side, you have RSM. It's emotionally triggered, it keeps you stuck in old trauma loops, it's driven by grievance. But on the other side, you have PBM. It's prompt-driven, structured, and helps you build new, healthy habits. It is literally the difference between reacting to your past and intentionally building a better future. So if RSM is a downward spiral into chaos, PBM creates an upward one. Let's dig into how this powerful methodology actually rewires the way you think and speak. The mechanics are actually pretty simple, but they're profound. First, PBM forces a pause. It stops the impulse. Instead of reacting, you take a second to frame a prompt, an intentional question or a clear statement. Second, you engage from that structure, which physically short-circuits the emotional hijack. And third, because this actually works, it leads to better conversations and way less regret. You get this powerful positive reinforcement, which makes you want to do it again.
And here's something really cool that I've found in my conversations. PBM is self-spirating. And what that means is, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. It's just like a muscle. The more you practice hitting that pause button and being intentional, the stronger those new neural pathways in your brain become, and the weaker those old reactive ones get. You are actively, literally, overwriting the chaos with clarity.
So if RSM is the folly of just letting it all fly, PBM is this: A path that starts out like a tiny bit of light at dawn and just gets brighter and brighter and brighter with every single intentional step you take. It's a path toward clarity, toward order, and toward wisdom.
Okay, so this brings us to the very heart of it. This isn't just some abstract theory. In every single conversation, and honestly, in every single thought, you are making a choice. You get to choose which inner loop you're going to run.
Let's just look at the final choice, right here, side by side. RSM starts with a gut reaction. PBM starts with an intentional pause. One spirals down into self-justification and chaos. The other spirals up into self-reinforcing clarity. My findings show RSM is entropic. By its very nature, it spreads disorder. But PBM, it's the opposite. It's anti-entropic. It actively creates order out of chaos.
So the most crucial point is this. This whole thing isn't just about how you talk to other people. It's really about the conversation you are having with yourself right now in your own head. The battle between RSM and PBM, it's won or lost in your own inner dialogue. Your thoughts are constantly building one of two things: a downward spiral of chaos or an upward spiral of order.
And that leaves us with one final, unavoidable question. Your very next thought, it's a choice. It's a building block for everything that comes after. So which loop are you going to feed?